that it's about to start. There you go. And I'm going to start by sharing my screen with you all. And we're going to be looking at this topic today, which is called 8 Ever, 9 Never. And it's a guideline about whether to finesse when you're missing the queen. So if you have 8 cards or fewer in the suit and you've got high cards except for the queen, generally speaking, if you have 8 cards or less, you should try the finesse to avoid losing to the queen. But if you have 9 or more cards, then don't finesse. Just cash the ace king and hope that the queen is singleton or doubleton. And we're going to have a look at some examples of that in a moment. Do interrupt me if you have any questions. And I'm just going to share with you the display from Suit Play. This, as I've mentioned before, is a free program for Windows that you can download, and you can enter any suit combination, as I've done here, and it will tell you the best way to play it and also your likelihood of success. So this here I've entered a suit combination where I've got the ace jack 4-3-2 in the north hand and the king 6-5 in my own hand, and it is underlining at any point the card that I should play in order to give myself the best chance of success. And it's saying that if I'm leading from the south hand, I should lead the king, or if I were leading from the north hand, I'd lead low card and play the king. And it's saying that if I follow their recommended line, I've got 33.9% chance of making all the tricks. So not that great, because here I've just got 3 high cards, the ace, king and the jack. All the rest are low cards. And here on the right you can see the possible layouts of the missing cards. The cards of concern are the queen and the 10, and showing how they might be laid out, the probability of each of those, and how many tricks that will lead to. So that's what it's saying that I should do on this hand. I should lead the king, and if a low card is played from dummy, play a low card, of course, from... Sorry, if a low card is played by the defense, play a low card from dummy, and of course I win the first trick. And then it's saying I should lead from my hand the 6 or the 5, and if a low card is played, then I should finesse the jack, try and play the jack. And if I'm lucky, the jack will win the trick on a layout something like this, and now I can just cash the remaining tricks and make all 5 tricks. But the chances of success are not that great, but that's the best line to play to give yourself the best chance to make all 5 tricks. Anyone have any questions on that? The idea is when you have a situation like this and you're going to finesse, you give yourself a slightly better chance if instead of just leading towards the jack, if you cash the king first, it gives you a small chance that the queen will drop under the king. It's actually, if I look up here, the chance that the queen is a singleton on my right is 2.83%. But I give myself that slight edge by playing in that way. Okay, any questions on that one? If I change this north hand to maybe give myself some slightly better cards, then I will still 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I just want 5 cards there. I will still play this the same way. In other words, it's saying I should lead the king first and then lead towards the cards in dummy. But my chance here of 5 tricks has gone up quite a bit because I've got the higher cards like the 10, the 9 and the 8. And now I've got a 50.8% chance of making 5 tricks on this one. But I would play it the same way, playing the king, then playing a low card from dummy, and then leading again from my hand and finessing either the jack, the 10 or the 9, whichever you like. Okay, and again you hope that that finesse succeeds, and if it does you'll be able to make all 5 tricks. Any questions on that? I hope you're all with me. On the other hand, if I change the suit combination, so I give myself another card in the south hand, so this is a situation where I've got 9 cards missing the queen. If I work out if the computer is now telling me that my chance of making 5 tricks has gone up to just under 58%. There are 2 different lines of play, but the basic idea is that if you start with the king, for example, and everyone follows, then you just play your other high card, you play your other ace, and you hope that the queen will drop on this hand. And that's a slightly better chance than trying the finesse again. As I said, it's roughly 58% chance that in this layout you will make all the tricks. Basically, any time the queen drops, any time the queen is a singleton or a doubleton, you should be able to make 5 tricks playing this way. Anyone have any comments or questions? You can download this program yourself and try out different suit combinations, but that's a basic idea of it, that it tells you it tells you that with 9 or more cards, don't finesse when you're missing the queen, just only finesse if you've got 8 or fewer cards. Anyone have any comments? Just interrupt me. Let's have a look at a few examples of this. Here's a whole hand where we're going to look at this hand, and we open 1 no trump, north bids 3 no trump, and we've got how many top tricks? We've got 1 spade, 2 hearts, 2 diamonds, and at least 3 clubs. We're going to try to make as many diamonds as possible here, and here we've got 5 diamonds in dummy, 3 in your hand, so with 8 diamonds the odds favour the finesse. So the way we're going to play this in diamonds to try and give ourselves the best chance to make 5 tricks is to cash the king and then leave a diamond, and if West plays low we should finesse. This is the optimal way of playing it. If you're unlucky it will lose to the queen. If you're lucky it makes, and now you can cash the ace and make all the remaining diamonds. Okay, any comments on that? I hope you're all with me still. It's relatively straightforward. By the way, having taken that ace of diamonds, what I would do now is cash the remaining diamonds, and in fact you may well find that if you cash your top tricks now, the opponents may discard something that will help you. In fact, you can see East here will come under pressure as I cash the diamonds. They might start discarding heart, and it's a good idea before you play the clubs here to give yourself a chance of making best chance of making 4 tricks, to cash your remaining top tricks. Cash your ace of spades, and then if we cash our ace of king of hearts, East doesn't really know what to discard, may well discard a club, and now I hope you can see you'll be able to make all the club tricks because East discarded one, so your 6 of clubs is good at the end. How do you know to do that? Well, you make a plan right at the beginning, and you look at the club suit and you think, I've got 3 top tricks, I hope to make a 4th, and I'm going to play off my other winners. Hopefully I'll get one with the last club if they divide evenly, or if, as in this case, East discards one. Any comments on that? Here's a similar one, but this time you've got 9 trump. You've got the 5 in dummy, 4 in your hand. So with 9 or more, the odds favour not finessing. In other words, the recommended line here is to play the king and then don't finesse this time. The odds are slightly better that the queen will drop, so you should cash the ace at this point. And again, if you're lucky, the queen will drop and your remaining diamonds will now be good again. Okay, so slightly better chance of just cashing the ace and king when you have 9 or more cards than trying any finesse. Do interrupt me if you have a question about that. Let's have a look at this one here, where I think South's got a balance 23 points, opens 2 clubs, North bids 2 diamonds, that's the negative 0 to 7. South shows a balanced hand with 23 or 24 points, and North goes on to 3 no trump. You might be thinking about playing in diamonds, but 5 diamonds is often not a good scoring contract if 3 no trump might make. So again, we're going to look at the diamond suit here, and this time we've got 9 diamonds between us and dummy. So let's win the first heart, and let's see how it goes. I suppose we cash the king of diamonds and everyone follows. And now we're going to play another diamond. Now, here we're obviously hoping that the diamonds divide evenly. But can you see that if we do make the recommended play with 9 cards of just playing the ace here, if the diamonds do not divide and the queen is still out, we'll only make 2 diamond tricks. So the recommended line here with 9 diamonds was indeed to play the ace and the king, but this one is a little different because we have no entries to the north hand. In other words, if I bring up the 4 hands, you can see that if I play the ace here, we'll win that, but we will never make any more diamonds because the queen is still out. So in fact, this is a hand where you really want to deviate from that guideline, because if you're relying on the 2-2 break, you may only make 2 diamonds. Probably much better to try the finesse this time, play the jack, and you may be lucky and the finesse may succeed as well. If it does, now you're not going to lose any diamonds. You can cash the ace, and your remaining diamonds are all good as well now.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
I don't understand what do you mean by finesse.
Okay. So a finesse is where you have a holding like this, like the ace and the jack, and you hope to lose, you hope to avoid losing to the queen, which you can do by leading towards the jack. So in other words, what we did here was we cashed the king and then we led a low card and we played the jack. And that's what finesse means. It means to win with a card that's not the highest card. In other words, we play the jack here, and it's a risk that we will lose to the queen if it's on this side. But if it's on our left, we can win a trick with the jack. That's what finessing means. And now we won't lose a trick. So it's a chance to avoid losing a trick. Okay. Have a look at this one here. And this is actually the same hand, but with a different distribution. And see if you can tell me how this one goes. Suppose you win the first trick with the ace of hearts, you cash the king of diamonds, and you get a shock when East discards. Okay, so this is a good time to think about what are the remaining diamonds. East has got all the remaining diamonds. Which diamonds has West got left? We started with 9 diamonds. East didn't have any, so West started with 4. So what 3 diamonds does West have left?
Queen.
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
10. 10.
Yeah. And
4.
no.
5. No.
No. They've got
No.
the queen, 10, and the 9. Yes.
9.
They are sitting there with the queen, the 10, and the 9. So In some ways, it's good because we know a finesse will succeed. But with them having the queen 10-9, what we need to do is if we leave this suit again, what should we play from dummy here?
Jack.
I will play king ace.
I would duck it.
Right. If we bring up the analysis on the GIB link, it will show you that the way to make this contract, in fact, to make two over tricks, is to give this one up. Let them win this one. You cannot win all the diamonds now because West had started with Queen 10-9 and another card. So you have to lose one here, okay? And this is a time to lose it. If you make the mistake, well, the worst mistake you can see is to play the ace. That's then you'll be defeated. The other bad play is to play the jack because you won't be able to prevent West from making a trick. What you have to do is what I think Steve said there, duck it. Let them win that one. Whatever they play back, you've still got a stopper. And now, with them having the queen and 10, you can successfully finesse against their cards. You can play the jack here, okay, and then your remaining diamonds are good. So, although what we talked about was a useful guideline in terms of finessing or playing for the drop, sometimes like here you may get a clue, you may get one of these bad distributions, and you may be able to still make the most of it by letting them win a trick. Any comments or questions on that? Do interrupt me. Here's another one I want you to have a look at. And let's suppose your opponent's lead a heart. It's got 1 no trump, 3 no trump. And let's suppose we win this one with the queen. So let's stop for a minute and see if you can tell me how many top tricks you now have. We'll count 1 for the queen of hearts because we've won that. How many other top tricks do we have? Tell me how many you've got all together here.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8, I think. Yeah,
8.
we're going to count 2 spades, 1 heart, 2 diamonds for sure, and at least 3 clubs. So we have at least 8 tricks there. Now, where can we make another trick? We might make one in clubs if the suit divides evenly, or we might make more in diamonds. But I have a question for you on this hand, because what we're going to do now is we're going to play the diamonds, and we have the option of playing it in 2 different ways, well, 3 different ways. You could just cash the ace and the king, or you could try a finesse. And you could try a finesse either way. That is to say, you could try the finesse in such a way to prevent one or other opponent from gaining the lead. And I'm going to launch a poll now with a question for you. And the question is, which opponent do you wish to stop from gaining the lead? Who will be more of a threat if they are able to lead a heart? So it's a simple choice between East and West. Who is the more dangerous opponent? Who do you want to keep off lead, if you like? If you're on an iPad and that has obscured the hand, then you can end it and relaunch it.
East, I think.
Oh, don't tell everyone. The answers are coming in. They're very evenly divided, actually.
I will like East.
Right. So don't answer verbally. Answer to click on the poll.
Okay.
Okay. Any more answers? I could have put in an option "don't know," but that's not very. You can vote "don't know" by not voting, can't you? Okay. We'll end the poll there, And the answers are almost 50-50. The just by one person, you've gone 53% have voted for West, the opponent you want to stop from gaining the lead, and 47% have gone for East, who will be more of a threat if they're able to lead a heart. And I'm afraid the majority is wrong this time. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the hand. What we're going to do here in diamonds is we're going to play the diamonds, and you have to think about who you want to keep off lead. And the person I want to keep off lead is East, because if East gains the lead, if East has the Queen of Diamonds and wins it and plays a heart, your King of Hearts is trapped. Whereas if West gains the lead and they lead a heart, your King of Hearts is safe. Okay, so what we're going to do, we have a choice of finesses to try. We could either we need to finesse in diamonds in such a way that we keep East off lead. East is the hand that we're more worried about here. So what we're going to do is start by cashing the Ace of Diamonds, and then we're going to leave the diamonds from dummy. And the worst that will happen here, if this is a finesse, will fail, and the West gains the lead with the Queen of Diamonds. If West has the Queen of Diamonds, as they do here, okay, you can see that although West has got the heart suit that you're sort of worried about, if the worst they can do is to play another heart. If they play the ace, it will set up your king, okay, and so your king is protected. So here the finesse failed, but it failed and only West could gain the lead. Now you're going to take your remaining diamonds and your remaining clubs and your remaining spades. So although the finesse failed, the best the opponent could do was to take two tricks here. So there are situations when you're finessing that you need to keep one opponent, that you have an option to try to keep one opponent off lead. And this time it was East. East was the hand we wanted to prevent gaining the lead there. Any comment on that?
Excuse me. So this 8 ever and 9 never only applies for Queen or any other?
No, it's just for the Queen. Yeah, it's just when you've got all the high cards except for the Queen. It does not apply in other situations. I'll go on to that in a minute. But I also want to talk about how not to finesse. And this is one way I see people finessing wrongly. They see, there's a finessing situation in diamonds, but what they do instead of leading towards the jack is they lead the jack. And against correct defense, that will never be a successful approach. In other words, if I bring up the four hands, if you lead the jack, East should cover the jack with the Queen. Okay. If you don't, then declarer will be successful. They'll win a trick with the jack, and you won't win any tricks at all. But second hand should cover an honor with an honor. South can win this one with the king, but will lose a diamond now. So basically, by covering the honor with the honor, now the 9 of diamonds is promoted, and you will at least make one trick there. So declarer played this one badly by leading the honor. Instead, they should have led towards the jack. Now that doesn't succeed on this layout either, but leading the jack will fail if either East has the Queen or if West has the Queen. It will fail in all situations, or it should fail rather if the defense defend correctly. And I do see that. Yeah.
I don't understand. How would I know that I want to keep East off on these hearts? I don't quite get that.
Yeah. Well, you're not alone, are you? Because the majority didn't get it. Well, you have to think about your holding. So we win the first trick, and you have to now think about you realise you're in danger of losing to the Queen of Diamonds at some point. You want to play the diamonds, and you may lose to the Queen. You can't help that. And if you lose to the Queen of Diamonds in the East hand, East can lead a heart, and because they're leading through your honours, you need to think about that your king will be trapped. If East did gain the lead and led a heart, then you wouldn't make any heart tricks, would you? The 8 would lose to the 9, West would cash the 8. So
Yeah, get that.
sometimes you have an honour like this, and it is protected, but only if one defender is on lead. As it was, West gains the lead with the Queen of Diamonds, and they cannot attack the heart suit without giving you a trick. So if you like, you have a stopper in hearts, but only if West is on lead. You don't have a stopper in hearts if East leads. All right?
Thank you.
So I don't know if that helps. Obviously, I see a number of people didn't get that, but perhaps with a bit of practice, you'll be able to see those situations. And then I just wanted to talk about one other thing, which is that this only applies if the Queen is missing. If you have a layout like this, where you've got 8 cards and you're missing the Jack, then the best way to play this is just to play your top cards. Don't try any finesse here. So just win that, play the king winning in the short hand, play another diamond where you're going to play the ace, and if everyone's followed, you now actually know that there's only one diamond out and it's the Jack, so you're going to make that. So this business about 8 ever, 9 never only applies to the Queen being missing, not to any other honour. Okay, just for the Queen. Okay. Any other comments or questions on that?
Tony, you know the rule that second hand plays low doesn't apply when you play the Jack in the diamonds, when you play the Jack in earlier.
That's right.
And then you have to put the Queen on it.
That's
honor
right.
with.
Yes. And
Yeah.
so second hand normally plays low, but if an honour is played, you should cover the honour with an honour if it might promote a trick for you or your partner. And you can't be sure whether it will or not. It might not. It might be that the declarer's got, all the high diamonds except for the Queen, and then you may not be able to make a trick. But you cover an honour with an honour. It's one of the most common mistakes on defence I see, that people don't cover. And I hope you can see that if you let it go, then declarer will just win this one with the Jack, and then they'll take the ace and the king, and you won't make any trick. But second hand, yes, should cover an honour with an honour.
So you cover the honor with the honor. That is for opposition.
That's for the defence, yes.
For the defence, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Any other comments or questions on that? That's the end of the talk today. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen with you and just ask, is there